In this video, I'm going to share with you how to make 3 awesome warp transitions in After Effects. If you don't want to create all of this from scratch and prefer to save your time, you can purchase my pre-made presets from the link in the description. These presets are available on my store at an affordable price, and here is a special offer for the first 30 buyers. If you don't want to purchase individual items separately, you can grab the all-in-one bundle available at half the price. First thing I'm going to do is come over to these 2 clips on the timeline, which are placed right next to each other, and highlight both of them. I'll right-click and choose Replace with After Effects Composition. Inside After Effects, I'll create an adjustment layer. You want this adjustment layer to be just as long as you want the transition, so I'll cut it accordingly. I'll start at the cut point and apply a few different effects. First, I'll add a warp effect to the adjustment layer. Then I'll change the warp style from arc to fisheye. I'll set the bend to 100 and create a keyframe there in the middle. At the beginning, I'll set the bend back to 0, and I'll do the same at the end. Pressing U on the keyboard will show all keyframes. Next, I'll add optics compensation to the same adjustment layer. Right at the cut, I'll increase the field of view to around 120 and keyframe it. At both ends of the adjustment layer, I'll set the field of view to 0 so the effect returns to normal. Then, I'll add a turbulent displace effect and increase the amount to around 281 in the middle with a keyframe there. At the beginning and end, I'll set the amount to 0. After that, I'll apply a glow effect to the adjustment layer. In the middle of the transition, I'll increase the glow threshold to make it pretty bright. I might also add a keyframe for glow radius and increase it slightly. At the beginning and end, I'll reset the glow value so there's no glow at all. I'll keyframe glow intensity at both ends as well. Now, if you're adding motion to any of your layers, it's important to turn motion blur on. Altogether, this looks pretty cool, but I think it's a little too long. So I'll press U on the adjustment layer, highlight all the keyframes, right-click, and choose Easy Ease. Then I'll move the outer keyframe slightly closer to the middle to speed up the transition. You can also open the graph editor in value graph mode and tweak the keyframe handles to smooth out the animation. Once done, close the graph editor, and now we have a really cool transition. Remember, it's all about experimenting with the timing and values of the effects. There's no one correct way to create a warp transition, but this version looks great to me. After that, I'll save the project. Back in Premiere Pro, I'll right-click the dynamic link layer and choose Render and Replace, which renders it as a .mov file for smoother playback. For the second transition, I've got 2 clips on my timeline. I'll highlight them and replace them with an After Effects composition. With the first clip selected in After Effects, I'll apply a warp effect and change it to fisheye. I'll start keyframing the bend at 0 near the cut. Before the cut, I'll increase it to about 90, and right as the cut happens, I'll set it to -100. Pressing U shows the keyframes, and I'll easy ease them. Then I'll open the graph editor and adjust the speed ramps to make the transition quick and smooth. Don't forget to enable motion blur. Now we have a quick and clean transition. To enhance it further, I'll apply the same warp effect to the second clip, set it to fisheye, and start the bend at -100, gradually bringing it to 0. I'll easy ease these keyframes and adjust them in the graph editor to make it smooth. Then I'll enable motion blur for this clip too. Now it looks even smoother with the warp applied to both clips. Next, I'll create an adjustment layer and place it above the transition area. I'll apply a CC radial blur, change the type from scratch to centered, and zoom into the cut. I'll increase the blur amount in the middle and keyframe it. At both ends, I'll set it to 0 to ease the effect in and out. I'll easy ease all keyframes, and now we have a super smooth and clean transition. I'm really happy with how it turned out. For the third transition, I have 2 more clips. I'll replace them with an After Effects composition, then create a new adjustment layer and trim it to cover the transition area. On this adjustment layer, I'll apply a motion tile effect, increase the output width and height to 1000 and enable mirror edges. Then I'll apply a transform effect. With this setup, moving the transform properties will now mirror the clip edges, which is a really cool look. I'll keyframe the position at the beginning and then shift the position until the next shot starts to come in. This makes the transition look seamless. After keyframing, I'll easy ease them. Again, enable motion blur. Now it already looks good, but to add some extra style, I'll create another adjustment layer and cut it to the transition point. I'll apply a warp effect, set it to fisheye, and make the bend value extreme at the cut, with keyframes returning to 0 at the beginning and end. I'll easy ease these keyframes and adjust their positions. Finally, I'll add a flash effect by applying brightness and contrast to the same layer. I'll increase both brightness and contrast at the cut, keyframe them, and return them to 0 at both ends. After easing the keyframes, this gives us a super clean and impactful warp transition. All of this was done using just motion tile, transform, and warp effects, and it only took a few minutes. That's all for today's video. If you enjoyed it, please hit the like button and subscribe to my channel for more awesome tutorials.